with Roland Rivers III. How you doing, man?
Doing good, doing good. Just got out of a nice workout and just kind of relaxing right now, but happy to be on the line with
So, real quick, just for those who might be listening, maybe unfamiliar with, just who you are, kind of run through, who you are, what you done, what you're about.
you. All right, yeah, my name is Roland Rivers III. Coming out of Slippery Rock University, I went to Valdosta State for 4 years and was the starter down there. Got injured to my throwing shoulder and I missed all of 2017 as a result of that. I got hurt in 2016, and so I transferred to Slippery Rock for my redshirt junior year in 2018, and to finish out my career there at Slippery Rock. And this past year, was able to do some special things with my team, going to the semifinals of the D2 playoffs, and finish on a personal note with the Harlon Hill, which is the Division II Heisman Trophy. So I'm a hard-working guy, a dude who loves the game of football, loves the process, loves getting better, genuine, and just hungry for an opportunity to play the game I love at the next level.
Now, I know you mentioned that you were injured at Valdosta State. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that was a torn labrum, right, in your throwing shoulder?
Yes.
So how did that affect, your motion going forward? Obviously, being based out of the Midwest here, everybody, you think of a throwing shoulder injury, you go straight to Andrew Luck and how that kind of ended his career. I mean, is that something that, teams have to be worried about with you moving forward, or is everything, surgically repaired and sound and ready to go?
Yeah, me and Andrew Luck actually did have the exact same injury, and we're going through that process of rehabbing at the same time. And but it was a time in my life where I really had to do some soul searching and dig down deep and really ask myself, is this what I really want to do? And not knowing how my shoulder would be afterwards. Will I ever be the quarterback I once was? Will I have to change positions like a guy like Braxton Miller, who had the same injury as well? But I stayed persistent in my rehab and gave my all, a lot of late nights and early mornings, to get my shoulder back right. And so I think what I've done on the field has shown that I'm healthy. I don't have any complications or problems with it now. I can throw a football 75 yards. So, the doctors told me when I injured it that if I take my rehab serious, that my arm can come back and be stronger than it was before. And they weren't lying when they said that. So, I'm fortunate to be able to play the game at the level I'm playing it at, and to be back 100% healthy. It's a blessing. It's something that makes me not want to take the game of football for granted. Not 1 second of it, from meetings to practice to watching film. I love the process. I love it being a part of something special. And so, I'm just excited to continue getting better. And my shoulder isn't a limitation at all.
Well, Roland, I know you mentioned, possibly switching positions, and that's one thing that really stood out to me, when I did a scouting report on you and broke down your tape. You're one heck of an athlete, man. I mean, is that something that, you have noticed maybe scouts or teams asking about, is your ability to pick up yards with your legs? And, to kind of add this in there, I've noticed you remain pretty accurate while you're on the run too, looking downfield.
Well, first and foremost, I am a quarterback. That's the only thing I want to do when it comes to football, is play that quarterback position. I love having the ball in my hands, being in between those lines, knowing that I got this responsibility is something that I thrive under. And so the quarterback position is no position like it in all the sports. But my athletic ability is a testament to my family. My dad and my mom were both athletes, and just kind of trickled down to me. My older brother played college ball. He was a running back at Miles College, and my younger brother is an All-American safety at Valdosta State University going into his senior year. But it just came from a lot of, hard work, God-given ability mixed with hard work, and being able to make plays, extend plays with my feet is something that I feel like stands out in my game, that I know a lot of teams in the NFL are looking for a guy who can do those Pat Mahomes type of things. I wouldn't say that I play like Patrick Mahomes, but I feel like we modeled our games after similar quarterbacks that Steve McNair, Tony Romo, Brett Favre, Ben Roethlisberger type of game style, and being able to make throws on the run and do things with my feet is something that does kind of come natural. But I believe in my ability to stand in the pocket and make every throw on the football field and some.
Well, one thing I've noticed, speaking of standing in the pocket, I noticed that you seem really willing to stand in with a defender bearing down on you and deliver a throw. Is that some kind of process you have to develop, or where does that, toughness and just tenacity come from to be able to deliver a ball and take a hit, knowing that it's not going to feel great?
Yeah, I guess that confidence comes from the off season. That's why we lift all those weights. But I wasn't a quarterback my entire life. I started off in Pop Warner as an offensive tackle and nose guard, and throughout my middle school days, I was a tight end and fullback and middle linebacker, and so I'm kind of used to being in those trenches almost, and just knowing that I had to take a hit is something that my receivers take hits, linemen they take blows every play, and so I mean it's a physical football game. I know what I signed up for, and so there's no better feeling than standing in the pocket, taking a tough hit, and when you get up, you see that the receiver then caught the ball and scored a touchdown or made a big play. So you got to be able to sacrifice for your team.
So let me ask you this. Obviously, Slippery Rock. I don't know if you saw or not, but there was kind of a conversation on Twitter between a couple guys, and somebody asked for quarterback prospects, right? Who hadn't been discussed that might stand out, quote unquote sleepers. And someone mentioned your name, Roland Rivers III of Slippery Rock. Let me ask you this: how do you think that draft Twitter, social media, the kind of boom of these draft websites and all these people watching tape has helped the guys from small schools really bust onto the scene?
Just guys like yourself, recognizing talent, and I'm a firm believer that it doesn't matter where you play or is what you do when you get there. And so, being in the conversation right now has been a blessing. Just having people knowing who I am and being able to go and look and see what I did on the field. I have the utmost confidence in myself that I can play at the next level, that I can play with the best of them. And so, I can't control what other people think or say about me right now. I got to control what I can control, and that's how hard I work right now in my preparation to when my name is called and when I get my opportunity. So it's a blessing to be here, but I know I'm not, anywhere close to where I want to be. I have big goals and aspirations. I don't play the game of football for, for social media purposes or to be verified on Instagram or Twitter or for clout, for jewelry or money or, that's not my motivation when it comes to football. It's to be great. It's for the love of the game. I love playing football. I love being in between those lines. And so that's what I'm going to continue to focus. And the people who recognize me and acknowledge and believe in what I'm capable of doing, those are the people that I'm looking to make proud. I don't really look to the doubters and wanting to prove doubters wrong. I focus on the people who believe in me and wanting to prove them right. So that's my mindset throughout this whole process.
The last thing I really want to touch on with you, obviously you looked really good on tape all year. The Minnesota State game, really, really tough circumstances for you. It looked to be pretty much a snowstorm, tough defense. And one thing that stood out is you just kept fighting, even with the scoreboard not in your favor, you just kept going out, fighting to try to get back in the game. Can you talk maybe a little bit about the thought process that went in there and, maybe some of the experiences you had during that game?
Yeah, I want to hats off to Minnesota State. They were definitely a great football team, and did some things on defense that were able to slow us down. And like you said, the weather didn't help us at all with the type of offense that we were kind of running, predicated off, me as quarterback being able to make throws down the field, and playing in those conditions weren't ideal. But like I say, it's for the love of the game. No matter what the scoreboard, or we were up 65 or we were down 65, my mentality towards the game doesn't change. I love the game. I want to win. I want to win every play. I want to do my job every snap that I'm on the field to help my team win and be successful. So, definitely was a learning experience. That was a game I've told people that, you know, even though we were kind of getting our butts kicked and the conditions, I still loved every second being out there. I still was having fun amidst that, what we were going through in that football game. So I feel like that's one that I wouldn't say I needed to have, at the end of my college career before I chased my dream of playing at the National Football League, to go through that type of loss and that type of game. But it really showed me how much I do love the game of football, and it's no joke. I don't feel the way I feel for no reason. I love the game. I love being out there, and I love being a part of a special team. So, wanted to finish that season, finish my collegiate career with a national championship with my brothers up at Slippery Rock. But still was a great ride nonetheless. I'm thankful for all my days at both Slippery Rock and Valdosta State. I feel like I learned a lot throughout my college days that, prepared me for whatever. And so very appreciative and excited for what's coming up next.
Well, the last thing I have for you is maybe if you could leave, whoever's listening, whether it be a scout, a fan, whoever it may be, with just one thing that, you want to have stick in their mind, what would it be?
One thing. Roland Rivers III is a guy who I know I talk a lot about loving the game of football, but I love life. I'm a genuine person who wants to do a lot of good in the world. Not only being a professional athlete, but being a role model, to be someone people can look up to and go out into my community and other communities and do special things and uplift people. Look at football far beyond the physical. This game is a beautiful sport that a lot of people love, young, old, middle-aged kids. I mean, it's a lot of special things you can do with this game of football. And so I'm just excited to be someone special, to be someone people can look up to and to be able to make a great impact in the world. So, whatever team gives me that opportunity to continue living my dream and playing the game I love of football is not only getting a player who's talented and, and especially in those regards, but someone who will really go out into the world and be a positive influence. So, thank you for having me, and go Blazers and go Rock. I now that I'm at the end of my career and all, I don't want to just acknowledge just Slippery Rock because I spent 4 years at Valdosta State as well and was able to be a part of some special teams and great coaches. And, I'm just all around appreciative of my experiences. But yeah, that would be the one thing I would want people to know.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate you coming on. Definitely rooting for you, and hopefully you can make all these people proud and continue to show out on the football field and off of it as well.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.